Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hello, everyone out there. How are you all doing? Okay, so before we get started, please, if you have not, please do hit that subscribe button and that like button if you already have not, just to kind of help us keep us out there, keep us in the algorithm, and of course, just also helps us to grow because again, without you guys, there is no us. So yes, that's why we always will like for you guys to always hit the thumbs up and the like. All right, so let's get started. Let's get started. Yes. So we're just kind of picking off on where we left off. From last time we talked about the issue with the Will and Jada, um, the whole bizarre thing that happened at the Oscars, Will and Jada, the slap, just everything. So we're just kind of coming back and we're just kind of just want to dive in a little deeper because since that we've gotten different, different updates. And so we just kind of want to unwind and unpack and kind of talk about some things. And hopefully, we can just kind of wrap this things up since this is the end of the month. So we can just wrap everything up. Okay. So first and foremost, let me just go out and just kind of give you guys my thoughts on the whole Will and Jada issue. So the Will and Jada issue for me was not, um, I just think that, certain things should happen on different occasions, right? I wasn't so big on who I support. They were both wrong. The joke that was, the joke that Chris made was obviously it wasn't the right time to actually make the joke. And then Will, who did, slap him, everything was just uncalled for. It was just at the wrong time, wrong place. And it just kind of messed up the night, of course, for everyone else who were involved. So since then, everyone's just been kind of, I think it definitely got social media roared up. Everyone, it was like a 50-50, those who supported Will and those who supported Chris. So I think it just definitely got the attention of like the Oscars, like the boards, just especially people who were there that day to actually witness it. Because it definitely had a lot of comedians talking. You guys heard what Wanda Sykes had to say, what she was on what she was on Chris's side, and then you guys also heard what Jim Carrey had to say, and also Amy Schumer, and it's just a lot of different, comedians, just different people that were definitely on Chris's side, and then you had people also supporting Will because again, it's just like the joke that was made was, it was especially when it involves someone, dealing with a disease that someone have or some like a health issue that someone have. It was just kind of a little insensitive, and he was just, people would say, protecting his wife. So since then, of course, we've, based on some of the reports that came out, it looks like, Chris has not really, all we know since then is that Chris said that he's been processing this, which for me, I believe he is still processing it because if you guys can see from the video, when this particular thing happened, you can see from his face that he was a little shocked because he did not feel like this was going to happen. So I still feel that he's just trying to kind of replay everything like, oh my gosh, did this actually happen? Because again, if we rewind back, Will and Chris, Jada, they were all friends. That, Will and Chris, they both were in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air together. So they had a relationship. So it's just kind of sad to see how this kind of played out, with now the Oscars. So it's just very, very interesting. And I think that there's somehow, somewhere, Chris is still in his mind, possibly trying to process it because he's like, how did everything turn this? How did everything go so sour? Or, what made, his long-term, partner, like, their with their career, his colleague, what made him do this, do this to him? So he's probably shocked at the point, and more so of like, and disappointed, I would say, because again, no one was expecting this to happen, right? No one was expecting it. So let's just kind of dive into the main, like, turn on the main things. So I think the questions that everyone's been asking, especially those who are on Chris's side, is like, why has nothing has been done yet? What, because it seemed like after the slap, Will eventually received his award, right? He received his award, he gave his speech, and nothing happened. Like nothing, as far as we saw, nothing happened. Like there was no one coming up there and saying, we have to kind of step you down, or kind of like maybe escort him. Nothing, because we saw he was still there. So now it seems like the new reports are coming out saying that, that Will was, bear with me. Hi, Sin.
Hey.
Oh, she's probably. Hi, Sin.
Hey. Can you hear me?
All right. So yes. So of course, we have the new reports, kind of coming out with just the updates and kind of in terms of what we were talking about. Because again, everyone is so outraged on this, and because I think that there definitely needed to be a response right then and there. Because to me, when I heard this, I'm just like, okay, what are you guys? If he was not escorted after that happened, what are you guys telling people that it's okay that it's okay to be smacked in the face? It's okay to be assaulted and nothing happened. That's kind of like what I was seeing. That's kind of like what I'm kind of, when I think about everything, I'm just like, okay, this is what I'm concluding, this, that it's okay for people, nominees, to start doing that now. If a joke is said about them, it's okay. Whether if it's sensitive, insensitive, it's okay for anyone to just come up and smack you without nothing being done. So yeah, now it is the report saying that Chris Rock insisted that he did not want to press charges against Will Smith, and that was what the Oscars producer said. And you guys know the Oscar producer was Will Packard. So, and he did a sit down, an interview, and he basically kind of did a tell all in regards to what happened that night. And I think everyone is just so shocked about what happened. Everyone's just trying to, again, like Chris, everyone is trying to process what happened that night. So according to Rolling Stone, you guys know Rolling Stone is just one of the credible magazines that I just like to also refer to, said that the Oscar producer says that LAPD was prepared to put Will Smith in jail, but Chris Rock saved him. So it said that Oscars producer Will Packard finally speaking out about the very intense scene that erupted backstage after Will Smith slapped Chris Rock across the face during the night's Oscars, including just show clothes Smith came to an actual arrest. Breaking his silence in an interview with ABC's Good Morning America, Packard says Los Angeles Police Department officials were ready to take Smith into custody, but it was Rock who saved him from a trip to jail. They were saying, this is battery was the word they used that in that moment. Packard told ABC News TJ Holmes. They said, "We will go get him. We are prepared. We're prepared to get him right now. You can press charges. We can arrest him." LAPD previously revealed Rock declined to file charges against Smith, but it wasn't until now that police spoke directly to Rock in person and let him know that Smith's fate was in his hands. They were laying out the options, and as they were talking, Chris was being very dismissive of those options. He was like, "No, I'm fine." He was like, "No." And even to the point where I said, "Rock, let me finish." The LAPD officers finished laying out what his options were, and they said, "You know what, you like to take any action?" And he said, "No." The Oscar producers recalled. An LAPD source tells Rolling Stone that considering the battery charge would have been a misdemeanor, it will take the victim stepping forward for us to get involved. So it seemed that that law enforcement was they were there, and they were kind of they spoke to the producer. Was, this issue was, law enforcement had to get involved with this particular issue. So Chris, who was, I would say, the victim at this point, he was just like, he still did not want to press charges. So it's just, so now I'm just kind of replaying this. Like, this definitely has to involve like a friendship, and it's just a lot of like thoughts going through everyone's head, especially Chris's, because he said he's still processing this. He didn't even want to press charges. He that wasn't anything that he wanted to even get involved in. So I would definitely say, Will, you better, you are in some deep mess now that the boards of Oscars, like people like Whoopi Goldberg, now they are getting involved in this. And according to them, according to Whoopi, she did say there will be some disciplinary actions that will happen. But however, regarding his Oscars, we're not sure if that's going to be taken away, but I don't think so. So that there will be some consequences that Will Smith will have to face. So yeah, so all in all, they were prepared to arrest Will Smith, after that whole that incident that happened. So, because a lot of us were like, okay, where was security? What happened, and what happened to Will afterwards? Because we saw a video of Will. I'm not sure if you guys saw the video that was circulating after this happened, the after party. I believe he was literally like dancing, like just with his Oscars, just partying up and down. And I'm just like, oh wow, like, what is going on here? So no, they didn't do nothing to him. So he wasn't allowed to do anything else after this happened. So with the new updates, it seemed like some things did happen. It seemed that law enforcement were involved, but however, Chris saved them and said no, he didn't want to press charges, because again, he was probably processing it as it came out that he was processing everything. So now I just want to also add that, if let's just say, if this was done, maliciously, or the jokes that he did make, if he did it to like hurt, Jada, and just knowing that it hurt at Will, he, if it was someone that had like a malice intentions, or, were not, didn't really care, they would have gone ahead and pressed the charges. Because you guys heard Jim Carrey, he was like, he would have, filed that lawsuit and just yada yada yada. Basically, he would have went after Will. But however, Chris is like, no, like, he didn't want to just get involved with all of that. He didn't want to get involved with all that stuff, which tells me that partially, his joke, it was just possibly a joke to him. He probably did not know that Jada had alopecia. So that's just kind of how I'm just kind of looking at everything, my perspective. So yeah. And now this pulled up. It said that Will Smith had a Zoom meeting with the Academy brass for 2 days after the Oscar slap. So he did sit down with the Academy just to kind of talk about possibly what happens. So yeah, I did not think that this was anything they were going to ignore, because we saw it live and direct, and it had everyone in their feelings. Until today, everyone is in their feelings, including me. Because again, no one is right or wrong in this situation. However, someone was assaulted. Okay, someone was assaulted. Someone put their hands on someone, and say no to violence whatsoever. So when I look at all of these, when I just kind of add everything up, it seems like there was a lot of emotional, just a lot of things possibly going on when it comes to Will that night, like emotional feelings, or some things that was going through his mind, or some things he was harboring in at that particular moment, or it could be like things that he's been harboring since like a while now. So possibly it could have been, with his, with Jada, his relationship with Jada, or just anything else that could have possibly, made him do that. Because everyone is saying Jada this, Jada that, Jada this. Oh, Jada made him do this. Jada emasculated him. Or, a lot of people are just kind of blaming Jada. Like at this point, everyone's blaming Jada. And I have to really come and, you know, definitely defend Jada because I don't think Jada is at fault here. Okay. Jada cannot control what Will does. That's her husband. However, I don't think that she has in control in this situation, right? We saw that, the thumbnail, and of course you guys saw the video of what happened before the slap. It seemed like everyone was laughing, even Jada. Everyone was just sitting there having a good time. But I think that Will did this on his own, okay? Will did this on his own. He went up there, he slapped them for some unknown reason. He did that with his own intentions. His intentions, I don't think for say it was possibly defending his wife. I don't think that was what that was. I think it was just because other things on what he was doing. I don't know what his intentions were when he went up there, why he did it. Only Will can tell us why he did it, right? He can only tell us. So at this point, I think that the blame or just kind of saying that Jada has control over Will, or she made him do this. No. So let's just all kind of that kind of argument, because it's just like everywhere people on social media, everyone's talking about Jada this, Jada that, Jada made him do this, Jada. No. Jada Jada did not make him do anything, okay? Jada did not make him do anything. I think this is just a case of two individuals. Just they are married, yes, but however, I think that they both have their different emotions or just things going on with themselves. Okay, this is just some things that possibly need some interventions like counseling, therapy that they both need. Okay, I think that we need to look more into Will rather than Jada. Okay, because Will did the slap, not necessarily Jada. Okay, so I think that this whole like emotional roller coaster with Will and Jada definitely has to do with the things that's been going on in their relationship since they brought it into the limelight. Okay, so if you rewind back to possibly when they started dating until now, just people go through things in life, so it could have been a lot of all that kind of like balling up and circulating, and then he's just like he had it. So I felt like Chris was his scapegoat at that point. He couldn't control his emotions, so he just kind of was like, you know what, I'm about to let it loose. So he let it loose out on Chris. That's just kind of how I see it. Let's stop putting Jada in the equation on why Will did that. Let's just look at Will. Let's not look at the actor Will. Let's look at Jada. Let's look at Will. Let's not look at who the person behind the acting. Let's look at Will Smith, who he is. And
Right.
a lot of mixed emotions, because even Will's mother said that she has never seen him like this. Exactly. I don't think no one has really seen Will, because we just know Will as an actor and not Will per se of who he personally is. And possibly his family, like maybe Jada or his kids, may know the real him, and they may not. But however, I feel like we kind of saw a little, and I'm not trying to, overshadow his accomplishments, because trust me, I love watching the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That was one of my favorite TV shows during, back in the days. And his movies, Bad Boys, and all this different, his accomplishments. Like, I'm so happy and proud of Will Smith. He's done it for himself. He really has. But we have to call a spade a spade. No, I don't think they should take away his Oscars. No, I do not think that. However, there should be some consequences into, the Oscar, what happened at the Oscars.
Mhm. And I just wanted to say one thing.
How I'm kind of looking at this. Jada, let's leave Jada out of the equation. Let's focus on Will Smith. Let's focus on Will Smith, not the actor, but Will Smith, as a person. And this kind of behavior that he displayed at the Oscars um, was not what I was expecting, and again, not what we all was expecting, because now everyone is looking at him totally different. Like everyone is looking at him differently. It's kind of scary, really, because for me, I was scared because even after he left off the stage, the smirk on his face after he slapped Chris was really scary to me. It was, because I had to rewind it back and was like, oh wow, did this just happen? And he's leaving off the stage and he's smirking. He was at the after party. He was just like pretending like nothing happened. Okay.
Yep. He was jumping
So
up.
all again, it just seems like someone who's bothered with emotions, like someone who's going through things in his personal life. Again, we don't know what it is, but it just seems like this was a way for him to, possibly get whatever it is out of his shoulders, right? Like Chris was the person who got it that night. Chris was possibly the person who said something, maybe that triggered him or that reminded him of something, and he just took it out on him. So yeah, that's just kind of how I'm kind of looking at that now. So let's kind of jump into, who, like, Will's actions, who else it affects. Of course, it affects Will. Now, again, the Oscars, yes, Will, please keep that. We're not going to take that from you. We're not going to take, because that's part of your accomplishments, all the hard work that you've done. So you can definitely keep that. I'm not upset at that. You worked hard for that. So you can definitely keep that Oscars. So, however, when we look at, some names behind the scenes, we know that Will Packard, who is an African American man, was a person who produced this. So it just does not affect. So it just doesn't affect, it just doesn't affect Will. It affects everyone else involved in this. Now the producers have to get involved, and people behind the scenes, and a lot of African Americans were the brains behind this academy. So Will Smith kind of I would say he kind of messed it up for everyone else who really put their hard work, their time, who really put like their creativity in order to make this show happen. Right? Like it kind of took it away from their shine as well, because it's like everyone was enjoying their night. Some people won awards, and everyone was there just having a good time, and this happened. So yeah, I mean, as we can look at it and say, okay, he was defending his wife and stuff, but I felt like at the end of the day, you have to be able to like control your emotions, right? And like I said before, you can, I don't mind you like defending yourself, right? I don't mind it, because I was even thinking, you know what? If he didn't like what Chris said, guess what? Just tell Chris, hey, meet me at the after party. Let's handle this. So yeah, okay. So we're just gonna go ahead and drop the link, and yeah, we're gonna take some calls, like we said. So come in, let us know what you think. And yeah, I mean, we like to hear from you. So we actually have someone who wants to share. So let's hear. Let's go. All right. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Hello. Is your volume?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear you. I think Lucy.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I think something may be going on with her. She's not able to. She can hear us, but we can't hear her.
Okay.
So I know that you were in the comments, and I know that you were in the comments.
Hey,
And
are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Look, I just got one thing to say.
yeah, go ahead.
I think she's absolutely right. about the fact that she didn't make him do it, so she shouldn't take all the blame. And this is definitely all on Will. And yeah, he definitely lost a lot of respect from a lot of fans because that was really uncalled for, especially to a guy like Chris Rock. Because if it would have been anybody else on that stage, he would have never done something like that. So yeah, that's my take on it. And I think she's absolutely right. Jada's got nothing to do with it, you know, and it's unfortunate.
Right, right. But a lot of people are actually, and I just want to know, are you black? Are you black? Or are you like
um
no, because I have a question. The reason why I have a question because it's a lot of black men are actually blaming Jada. They're saying that Jada is the reason, like they're labeling her as toxic, and that's why we wanted to do this video because of some of the videos we've seen saying, oh, Jada is, she's the reason why all these things are happening. So it's like Jada's getting a lot of the blame. That's the only reason why I asked that question.
yeah. No, I'm not black, but
As
that's
a male perspective, how do you feel about that?
from a male perspective. I feel like
Mhm.
Will Smith was completely out of line, and definitely it was all on him. It was his bruised ego that probably made him do it.
Mhm.
And you know it's just him trying to get acceptance from from Jada and stuff, and it's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work, you know. So yeah, she definitely doesn't deserve any of that hate because at the end of the day, it was Will Smith, who did that. So
Mm,
yeah, that's
yeah.
how I feel.
Okay. And if you were in that position, if you were Chris Rock, how would you have reacted?
Um, I feel like I would have reacted the same way, just kept it professional, kept it going. I definitely I would have, definitely had to like talk to him and stuff, but I feel like he did the right thing.
Yeah, I think he did the right thing too. Because there's been, a lot of people, especially rappers, that said that they would not have tolerated that. Like they, I don't know, they would not have kept the same composure that Chris kept. And I have to really commend Chris. He was so classy. And I just have to commend him how he kept his he kept his composure and stuff because I know that if it was someone else, this would not have been a pretty outcome. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So yeah, shout out to Chris. He did his thing up there, and hopefully they work it out. And that's all I gotta say. So thanks for inviting me into the stream, and you guys have a good night.
no problem. Thank you so much.
All
Thank
right.
you. All right. Bye. Okay. Um Yeah, so you heard some thoughts, and this is from a male perspective and how they would have reacted to like to the situation. And yeah, I don't understand like why some people are like saying, oh, it's Jada's fault, or they're blaming Jada, especially like I've seen a lot, especially on Twitter, on here on YouTube, a lot of black men are blaming Jada. And that's why I wanted to make this video. It's like this is Will's action is not a reflection of Jada. This is not Jada's fault. Like anything that, yeah, like, there's situation that has gone on in the past with them in their relationship and stuff, but still, the way Will behaved at this Oscars is not Jada's fault.
Right, Sin. I will have to agree. Um, I will have to agree on that. Sin?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah, so I will have to agree. I'm glad we make this. I'm glad he actually called in to just kind of let us know his perspective because it's too much. Like, it's like the blame game. They're shifting. It's like they're shifting the blame. Now I want to say blame, but they're now shifting gears onto Jada. It's like, why is Jada the reason why Will reacted the way he did? Some people are saying Jada whispered in his ears and said, "You better handle that." You know, I'm just like, this is ridiculous. This is really ridiculous.
I didn't even see Jada, like, did she, like, I was trying to watch the whole video and stuff, and not once did she lean over. Okay, yeah, he looked at her, into her face, like he can see that she was obviously, upset about it, distressed about, this, what Chris Rock said, but not once did she whisper his ear. Yeah, she might have given, like, she rolled her eyes and stuff, but still, like, she didn't tell, oh, Will, go over there and smack him. So I just want people to stop blaming Jada. This is not Jada's fault, please.
Right. Like I mentioned before, I think this is definitely Will's. He did this by himself, and for his own reasons whatsoever, unknown to us, I would say, on why he decided to do that. Now, when it comes to their relationship, again, they've been really open about their relationship. So, which they've been open. No one knows the ins and outs. Only those two know, what goes on in there. I do feel like this is definitely, something that they have that will. I'm just gonna say will, and I'm not gonna include Jada in. I think that whatever it is, he needs to kind of go forth with it, whether if it's any like interventions, like further therapy, further counseling, because this just kind of warrants, for me, it warrants that there's something else going on.
And I said it, and you know what? The funny thing is, I actually, like, the first time we went live, I said that this is not. It wasn't what the problem was. It was not what Chris Rock said. Something else is going on. And I was watching Whoopi Goldberg, and she was just like, this is unlike him. Like, everyone was, the reason why people was coming up to him was because they were like, are you good? Like, are you okay? So this just goes to show, like, this goes to show that it wasn't what Chris said at all. There's something else. Also, the way he was walking, the way he sat back in his seat, and you can just tell by his facial expression, like, it wasn't what Chris said. There is something else going on. Now, I don't know what it is, but you can just tell, like, he just wasn't 100% there. And there's something else I wanted to say in regards to the situation. Okay, so if we look at the aftermath of this, this is even, like, as much as people want to say, oh yeah, like, he's protecting Jada, he's protecting his wife, this is even bringing more disrespect to Jada's name. Like, you have comedians, I don't even know the guy, he's telling her, oh, if you have something, go wear a wig. Do you remember who, what was that guy's name? He's a comedian. But, like, this is even bringing more disrespect to her name. So this is not protecting her. This is bringing more disrespect to her name. You have people blaming her. Oh, she's the reason. So you have people, digging up her past and all these situations. So it's just like, at the end of the day, you already know the woman's always going to get the most backlash. And that's just, for a men's action. Now look at Jada is becoming the scapegoat in all of this whole situation. So this is not even protecting her. This is even making it like, this is not protecting her. That's all I just have to say.
Oh, thank you so much, Sin, for bringing that up. Thank you, because I wanted to also go back to a video that Jada made in regard. It seems that she's very confident in who she is, right? Like, she's confident in her skin. And I have to say, Jada is a beautiful woman. Like, even without, whether if it's a wig, she does not need any of that stuff. She's beautiful the way she is. Whether or not she was going through alopecia, I wouldn't have even noticed, because I'm just like, I'm so used to seeing Jada, like, just being beautiful, like, just being Jada, right? Like, and I can tell she was, I don't see any, like, in terms of, like, her self-confidence when it comes to her. I've never seen that from Jada. I've always seen Jada as someone who's confident in herself and who's just very, like, who has her unique look and is beautiful. So when I saw a few videos pass, she was just kind of like, saying that she doesn't care, like what people have to say about, her hair. Just, I was happy. It had me smiling. I'm just like, oh wow, this is a woman with so much confidence. Like, so now that you even said this in regards to, like, people kind of making fun of her, comedians telling her to put a wig on and stuff, it kind of now lets me know that the whole protecting your wife, oh, he protected her. No, that wasn't what that was. Jada was already confident on her, within herself, within her with her condition. So it's not about, I don't think it's about him protecting her. I don't think it was much so of like the joke that, made Will, react to that. Again, I think it was just more so whatever was going on his mind that day, because Jada was, for her to come to the Oscars, just in her unique beauty, her, like, just herself, explains a lot, really explains a lot. So whatever Will did out there, now he's even putting more. He's opening a can of worms. It's just, it gets more and more and more. And now people are looking at Jada like, oh, she's not confident. They're looking at her like, oh, she's not confident in herself. Oh, she's not, she has this, like, it's just now becoming, and she's not becoming like a talk, and not in a positive way, but everyone's just kind of looking at her now.
Exactly. And I'm just going to go ahead and let me just go ahead and pull up the picture. And the statement that was made by, I think he's like he's a comedian. Okay. So here it is. I hope everyone is able to see that. So this is from Tom Segura, Ladybug. I think he has like a show on Netflix, but he's just saying the Bimbal jokes about it, or her are fine. It was tame as AF. You're super sensitive about it. Buy a wig. Come on now. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, this is not about protecting. This is even bringing more. You have people like him telling Jada to come, like,
Put
to
on
wear a
a
wig.
wig. To wear a wig. How disrespectful is that? Who told him that Jada wasn't confident in herself? Again, it was because when Will went up there, he said, stop something, about my wife. You could have just laughed it off. But I would have just laughed it off, because, I mean, just like, okay, you want to talk, about my wife. We're good over here. You right? Like Beyonce and Jay-Z, like, people talk about them all the time, right? People could probably make a joke about Beyonce on stage. Jay-Z wouldn't go up there and, and punch them, because they're I mean, let's say everyone has, like, everyone has insecurities, right? But you want to show it out to the world, like, hey, this is my insecurities, or, you're just going to be standing there like, okay, jokes, later on, jokes is going to be on you, mama. Like, I'm working, I'm we're billionaires. It's just like that kind of aftermath. So I feel like you have nothing to prove. And that's kind of like Will did. Will did not protect her whatsoever. Hitting Chris Rock was not protecting her. It was not. No. More so, it just, backlashes are coming at Jada, and it's just more disrespect
To her name.
To her name. Look at this guy, Ladybug, telling her to put a wig on. And not just him, there's more people who are telling Jada to go put a wig on. Like, come on.
And they're painting her like, oh, she's like, I don't know. It's like they're painting her as, I've seen like people calling her the N-word, like not the N, but calling her narcissist, or people saying that she's the mastermind and of all of this, when she's not. Like, I mean, I don't, in this situation, she's not. Yes, she rolled her eyes, but that's not a cue or a sign that's saying, oh, Will, go smack Chris Rock. No. So I just want people to, yeah, I mean, no one is perfect, right? Okay, yes, if people have their imperfection, okay. But I just want people to stop, blaming Jada for this situation.
Thanks. And so again, let me go back to, and I'm glad we're talking about Jada, because I feel like a lot of the times, after the whole August Alsina situation, the entanglement, I feel like a lot of people have been looking at Jada a little differently, like she's actually, possibly the issue. However, Will's actions that night, I mean, let's just say, guys, let's just all pause and just kind of like, think about this, right? Jada has been in the news and she's been like, getting talked about, and now everyone's like after Jada rather than Will. So I don't know. My thinking skills are really shifting into a different direction, and now I'm just kind of bringing Will to the spotlight, and I'm just kind of diving in and looking at it a little bit deeper, right? Because it is just looking a little sketchy at this point. Like when things happen. Definitely, Will is a great actor. Again, I must say he definitely deserves all his accolades. But we need to just look at this individual as an individual and not an actor. So
now, okay, now I heard you earlier. You said should the question is, should Will give his Oscar back? I know you were like, no, you don't think he should keep his Oscar. For me, I personally think they should take his Oscar away.
why do you think that he should? Because the Oscar has nothing to do with what happened on that day, right? Because he's earned his accolades way before this happened, his achievements. So that should not be taken away from him. But I feel like there should be disciplinary, some disciplinary actions, to occur, but not necessarily include taking away his award, like his achievements.
Yeah, I mean, I think that at that moment, he obviously he broke he assaulted somebody at the Oscars. I feel like yeah, he assaulted someone at the Oscars, and I was going back and forth like, oh, should they take it? Should they not? Because of the assault, and it was so it was just so like he had an opportunity to walk away from the situation, but he didn't, and he assaulted a host at that. Yeah, people bring up Harvey Weinstein, all these people. I think they should get their Oscars revoked as well. I think they should also anybody who breaks a conduct, especially. I think that they at the Academy Awards they have the specific guidelines and stuff, and I feel like all those people, even Will, listen, they should all get their Oscars revoked.
I stand to. What do you guys think out there? What do y'all think? Should Will get his Oscar taken out, or not? Like, what do y'all think? What are your thoughts on this? And again, drop the link down if you want to call in. We would like to hear from you all, or just put whatever what your thoughts are down below in the comment box.
Yeah,
I stand to what I like I said, I don't think he should. However, I feel like there should be, some disciplinary actions that should happen. Okay. So let's just kind of talk about a few things. Now, did you see that video before the slap happened? Did you see everyone's face expressions? What were your thoughts on that?
Which one?
The video before the slap happened. The one that we have on our thumbnail.
Oh,
posted in our community. So
yeah, this one. Okay, yeah. So he was laughing, and people were saying, "Oh, he was laughing." That looks like he was finding that funny, the kind of not like finding it funny that what. I think it was like he was amused by it. Not, yeah. I felt like he looked like he was amused by it. That's what it looked like. So I feel like, how do you go from having one emotion to go from 1 to 100? And it's just like there's no in between. Like, how do you go? So it was so quick. That's why I'm confused. Like, it was just so quick. It was like 1 minute he's laughing, and the next minute, if you get what next minute he's bum rushed a man on stage.
Yeah.
And then another minute, he's crying. So it's like you go from laughter, anger to crying. Putting on a Oscar-worthy speech.
And that's kind of where I was saying in our last video. I said I feel like everything was premeditated. I felt like he possibly knew, because I mean they did have Chris Rock, Jada, and Will. They did have in the past, or I don't know if they still have a relationship, but they've been in. Chris Rock was in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, back then when he used to
He
have.
was a guest star.
Yeah, he was a guest star, and I don't know if they had developed relationships from now on. And I think he made a speech in the last, I believe, an award some years back, 2016, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Will felt like he was going to say, mention them or something, like mention them again. So he was like, okay, if he say something about, me or Jada, I'm gonna have to do something about it, because I'm tired of my name getting put out, me and Jada's name, our marriage getting put out for everyone to use and stuff. So I feel like I need to do something to, like, make me more of a man, or let everyone know that they shouldn't be playing about my marriage or with my name. So I think maybe it was an ego thing. He felt like, okay, I'm gonna show you guys what's up, so you can stop using putting our name into comedy. So
There are, you say, okay, my thing is like this, okay, and I don't want, like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I see it like this. Chris Rock, or he's going to be one of the presenters, or he's going to be one of co-hosts, or so, whatever. So why did you sit in the front? The thing about it is, like, people who see, like, when you're in the front, those are the only people that the host can see. So of course you're going to be a target. So if you have that kind of like hostility, and you also have that kind of, you're pretty sensitive about your marriage and stuff, ask for, hey, I kind of want to like, let me sit somewhere else, or like seat shuffle, like, let me just sit somewhere else. So there's different ways. If you don't want to be like the butt of the joke, you could ask for a different seating. You can sit towards, like, maybe towards like the middle, not so close in the front. So I think that, I mean, I don't know. It's just like, okay, well, people are not allowed to joke anymore. Not like joke as far as make insensitive joke, but just like I mean, I don't know how to, I'm not really sure how to like describe it, but like joke where it's not insensitive, you know? And I feel like what Chris said was not an insensitive joke. I don't think it was an insensitive joke. Like, I think most people have said that. Like, most people have said that they didn't know Jada was struggling with alopecia. I surely didn't know. And for those people who are saying that, oh, she talked about it in her show, she talked about how do you expect, like, yes, we know that Will and Jada are very like popular individuals, but it's just very very I really don't want to say narcissistic, to think that everyone should know every little thing that's going on with Will and Jada, or everything that's going on with Jada, because I personally did not know she had alopecia. She was struggling with alopecia. I don't really keep up with them like that. I really don't watch the Red Table Talk. And so if she had said it there, I would not have known. And I think that I would like to think that Chris Rock is not that insensitive to first be acknowledged that this woman is struggling with a serious health condition, autoimmune condition that affects that has a effect on a majority African American women. And I would think that he's not that insensitive to make a joke out of that if he had known.
That's true. That's true. I will have to agree with that. So now, since this whole thing has happened, like we were kind of saying back then, earlier, a few rappers have went on, into their respectful social platforms to kind of like, state their opinions, with the likes of The Game, Fabulous, Cardi
baby.
B husband, the baby. I mean, these are individuals
Offset.
that as I can Offset, right? Offset, who allegedly cheats on his wife and does all these different things. And the baby, who's been he's been in certain dilemmas
A
with
few sparkles
men.
here and there.
Exactly. Didn't he get in a brawl not too long ago with Danny Lay's brother? I mean, and then Fabulous, who was also involved in an altercation with his baby mama Emily. Like, these individuals are coming out and speaking, but it's like some of these individuals do not need to be speaking, because I feel like they're like Fabulous. He said he was not in the support of Will. However, he did. Yeah, he wasn't in support, but however, this is coming from the wrong person. Good message, but from the wrong individual. So it's like everyone is like 50-50, and then it's just like people who have passed, dealing with, DV, or just like involved in certain situations, are now talking. It seems like they were up for this. So it's just like, yeah, when the baby said he don't, if any guy come up to him or someone come up, he's going to have to like defend him. So I'm just like, but I think that, as I recall, it was a joke that Chris said. It wasn't necessarily anything that has to like be warranted to like getting like smacked in the face, or So at this point, I think that a lot of people, words do, some people can't take jokes, and some people can't can't take words. Like, if you say something, they're quick to react, right? Mm-hmm. So it could possibly be what happened with Will. So,
and I think this also allowed me to like maybe look at it a different perspective. I was just like, it allowed me to see that there are just some people who just don't, like, words really get to them. Things really, so that's why, like, yeah, I guess you have to be careful with anything. You just have to be careful what you say to people, because there's some people who don't know how to use their words, but they know how to ball up their fingers, and release it. So there are people who don't really know how to use their words, but they hit. So I think it's just like, words hurt. And that's another thing with the, when I go back, when I kind of like look at this in a different perspective, and not just be like, so like have like a, just I don't want to be judgmental about the situation, but it just reminds me of like the Monique and Candace situation, where once again, it's like words, and then, people who fight with words, and then people who fight with their hands.
Right. Great insight. That is true. And it's like everyone is coming, like, people, yes, everyone has a right to their opinion on this issue, but I think that a lot of people are looking at it from a different, I don't know how to say. It's like, I would not take advice from the baby, nor Cardi B's husband Offset. Like, that's a no for me. That's a no-go area. So it's like a lot of people are now like talking, and it's just like, and then you have Plows, who, if I don't want to repeat what Plows said, but if you go over to our Instagram or even his Twitter, you can see that what he said. But again, it just kind of goes back to what we were talking about. It's like, now Jada is getting disrespected.
Okay, can you like rephrase what he said for
okay. So basically what Plows said was, okay, so Plows took to his Twitter. Again, everyone has a social platform where everyone just kind of talks. And he basically says that, okay, I quote Plows, okay, I ain't protecting nothing, that I am not the only one. And then, F-U-C-K, and then, that's what, according to Plows, that's what Plows said. So tell me where this is protecting, where, everyone said, oh, protecting Black women. So tell me where, from Plows, tell me where this is like protecting, has anything protecting, Black women, or protecting Jada at that. Exactly. This is more of like disrespect. Like, it seems like now everyone's protecting, even with the whole, they were so open about their relationship, that, okay, everyone, again, we say everyone has issues. Everyone, even in our relationships, our friendships, we all have issues. However, because they've been out there, and then on top of what happened on the Oscars, everyone who shouldn't be talking, who has a platform, are
Is
running around disrespecting Jada, and this is just one of the people, and that's what Plow said.
that is very disrespectful, actually.
He said, according to Plow, let me read it again. He said, "I ain't protecting nothing. That I am not the only one." Okay. So,
I'm sorry, guys.
okay.
This is why I said that this is not like you have like these. You have rappers like Fox coming and making these despicable comments. Like who? This is even more disrespect. Once again, this is even more disrespect to Jada. Like this is not protection. Like you're giving people the ammunition. Like this is giving people the ammunition. Like the guy who made that comment. Like this is why we said like this is not like what Will did is not protecting Jada. And you can't be upset because like this was like people are going to have their comments. People are going to make their comments. People are going to have their opinions. And this is just one of the opinions. Like Plows. Now it's just like now they're gonna be like it's like being like the laugh I don't know, like just kind of like the like a caricature.
Yeah, and even though Jada and Will did have like agreement onto like what happened about their marriage, or quote unquote, it's if it's an open marriage, who are we to judge us? It's they're grown adults. It's a consent from both individuals. So who are we to judge? That's not what we're looking at. Okay, Will definitely had the right to protect Jada. I definitely, like I said, I think that if Will wanted to put his hands on Chris, right, he could have been like, you know what, Chris, meet me at the after party. Let's get some stuff started. It was just, I think that my only thing was it was not the right place to have done that, right? Because now it just seems like we said, Plows, like he's going around and about like making tweets like that. Like, what in the world, right? What in the world? He said he's not protecting because now, because based on people are saying, oh, he's protecting his wife, oh, protect Black women. Plows is like, no, that I'm not protecting anything that I'm not the only one dealing with. Imagine. Okay, so it's a mess, honestly, guys. It's really a mess at this point. Another thing is that you guys noticed that Halle Berry also made a speech, basically saying that she's the first. Basically, she find it heartbreaking that she was still the only Black Best Actress as an Oscar winner, and the same day that this whole thing happened, a moment everyone should be celebrating. All of us should be celebrating the beautiful moments, and here we have to talk about this. So
yeah, it's definitely tough. It's tough. But let us, what are your thoughts on this? I really want to know, do you think that it was like this is opening up room for people, to even discuss more about Will and Jada? Even like this is opening up this is opening up, giving people ammunition to disrespect Jada and talk to Jada any kind of like look what Plow just said. Look what that comedian just said. Also, do you feel like Will should hand back his they should take his Oscar away? Do you feel like they should take his Oscar away? And what do you think that's gonna happen like moving forward? How can they both coexist? Because I really want to know what's actually gonna happen like moving forward. How can they both coexist, especially Chris Rock and Will and the next award show? Like that's gonna be really interesting how they move forward with this because I know they're supposed to be coming out with a red table, Will and Jada, that he's supposed to talk that he's supposed to discuss the situation. But I really think it's just going to be a lot of fluff. I don't think he's going to be totally honest.
Yeah, I don't think I may tune in, but I don't think it's gonna be like a pure authenticity in terms of like his, you know, what actually happened, or him just kind of being real honest and, very open. I just thought this is gonna be like you said, a lot of rough, puff, and just, rush, and just all these different things. So no, I'm not here for it because I don't know, like, I like in our first video, I always say that a lot of people do this. They'll do something like, maybe do something that they shouldn't have, that have no business in doing. Like they just can't conduct themselves. And afterwards they apologize. So it's just, for me, I feel like some things are premeditated, right? Like it's premeditated, and then it's just like, okay, I'm gonna apologize afterwards. What? I mean, I have a question. Why, like, out of everything, the Oscars is like where all this shenanigans happens. Oh Lord. Someone has to be able to answer this question.
And then another thing is like there are people saying that, okay, well, it doesn't really matter. Like the Oscars is, white, I mean, yeah, like it's white. Like it's mostly it's white. Like how many black people that or actors or talents that that actually has an Oscar? Like I think I can name three. Okay, Halle Berry, um what is this no, Halle Berry. I think I could just name Halle Berry. Halle Berry and the lady from why am I not thinking? How to Get Away with Murder. What is her
Right.
name? Viola Davis. She has an Oscar. So I could just name maybe three individuals that have an Oscar. But people don't really care. Like, okay, they say, okay, it's the Oscars. They don't invite us anyway. They don't like us anyway. So it's like, okay, well, I definitely understand. I understand that for sure. But when we do have an award show that does celebrate, us, that does celebrate our achievement, like the BET Award, how many people are actually supporting? How many, like, what happened to the Source Awards? How many people are actually supporting the BET Awards? When you actually have a platform. So it's just like we want things for our own, but it's like when it comes time to support, how many people actually support?
Exactly. That's also a good point. That's also a good point. Now, I wanted to, before we kind of close up, I wanted to also bring stuff that I've seen that's been trending. And it's like we mentioned before, a lot of different people, to the likes of Amy Schumer, Jim Carrey, and then Ladybug, and people that a lot of Caucasians have been kind of chiming in. And it just seems like people are saying, okay, this is not your fight, right? Like, this is not your fight. This is our fight, right? Don't chime in. But at this point, I think it's everyone's fight, because this has to do with someone, getting their hands put on. And we're not here for violence. No, we're not here for violence. Say no to violence. So we can't really tell anyone what to chime in and when, what to chime in when it comes to this type of issue, right? Because again, like it's like we gave them that ammunition to, like, okay, go ahead, conclude the judgments that you guys, thought about us from the start. You send, like, you kind of get where I'm going, right? Like, there's some things that they shouldn't chime in, but there's some things that they should chime in. I feel like at this point it's a free game for everyone. It is, because it happened at the Oscars, and the Oscars, it is, everyone who was there is going to chime in. Everyone who saw it is going to chime in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's not necessarily, this is not your fight. No, it's everyone's fight. Let's be honest, it's everyone's fight at this point. Say no to violence. That's what this is. This was an assault. So it's like everyone could say what they want to say, right? Like
Right.
whether Asian, if you're I mean, like everyone has
Right. Like,
yes,
just keep your hand like, I don't keep your hands to yourself. That just goes to anyone. Like, it's as long as someone's not getting into your personal business, put in there, like, just keep your hands to yourself. Just keep your hands to yourself. If
yeah,
you're not using your hands to protect yourself, or if you feel like, you're defending yourself, you're defending yourself. I understand that. But if just keep your hands to yourself. Why are you the fact is, and I also was looking, and I know that people can say, oh, what does age have to do with, Chris Rock is 57. Okay. Um Will Smith, I think when I was reading, it said he was 50, but let me make sure. But I know Chris Rock is older than him. Let me just make sure. Um So Will Smith is 53. Chris Rock is 57. That's a good, like, Chris Rock senior, Will Smith, let's say a good maybe 4 years. So I think that, I don't know, it's just plain out just disrespectful. That's just what it is. Just, people just need to keep their hands to themselves
I agree because this is
at all
someone
times.
I agree because this is someone as much as Will is someone's husband, someone's son, someone's father, the same as Chris Rock. If there's an equivalence. There was a different way this should have been handled. And at the end of the day, say no to violence. And we're just going to conclude. And I just want to say, whatever happened at that award show was not protecting a Black woman. It was, in our opinion, it was not protecting Black women. It was not protecting his
Jada.
wife, Jada, because like when all said and done, there's different opinions, and now it's making Jada. People are now using Jada as a joke, basically joking on Jada. So whatever happened there. Also, it kind of exposes everything, and it's like everyone has the right to make their negative opinions about Jada and with her condition, right? Like everyone is now kind of like shifting the gear and blaming Jada. And I will say, no, we are not going to blame Jada. We are going to look at Will Smith as an individual, and we're going to hold him accountable for what happened that night. Okay. And Chris Rock, the same thing. No one was right here. However, say no to violence and keep your hands to yourself. Yes, keep your hands to yourself. Because if that was a different case, I don't know if you guys heard Jim Carrey, but he said that wasn't, he would have went ahead with the lawsuit. But Chris, on the other hand, did not want to sue Will. So kind of like put that all together, like kind of look at that. Because if that was the case, Will would have been in big trouble. And knowing what Jim Carrey said, I think that he would have went about it. He was about it.
And people are also like, Will's kids have spoken out. Jaden, we saw him speak out. We haven't even seen Chris's kids. Chris is raising two beautiful Black daughters, and imagine they're gonna always have to. This video is gonna be replaying, and they're gonna have to see their dad being smacked around at an award show. How embarrassing! And yeah, we know that his kids may not be. I think they're just maybe just regular teenagers, of course, like they're not in a limelight or anything, but he does have two teenage daughters, and they're gonna always have to see this. And I'm always like, when I saw this video, I'm like thinking about, oh man, like his daughters, his kids, like just seeing like a man that they respect, they value, to be just like disrespectful in that level, and just like be emasculated in that level, like a man that they looked up to, like, this is our dad, and it's just embarrassing. It really, really is embarrassing. So you have like Will's kids are coming, Jaden, they're all coming out. It's just like, and then again, Chris's family, I think his brother's also speaking out for him as well too. But none of his kids came out, and none of his kids have said anything because they're probably just still trying to process it.
Yeah, I will have to agree with Weston said because that's kind of like what I even Chris is still trying to process it as well. I'm still trying to process it because I'm just kind of upset at what happened. I'm just upset that another man will put his hands on another man at that kind of award show. I don't know. I'm just still I don't know what it is, but I'm just not happy of what happened with the Oscars. It could have been solved in a different way. Instead of putting your hands on another man, another black man at that was not the best way to go about that
Right.
situation. So that's, and then like you said, that's a good point. Like his kids will have to see this years to come. Like this is like again, like this is an Academy show that a black man had to produce, and a lot of black people were behind the works of this Academy Awards, this Oscars. So yes, it was a monumental moment. Halle Berry received an Oscars. She was crying there. So it's like these are moments where.
Wait, Halle Berry received an Oscars.
Sorry?
Halle Berry received an Oscars.
You said Halle Berry?
Did you say Halle Berry received an Oscars?
She received an award.
Halle
Berry.
I think you're getting her old Oscars. No.
Well, no, like, it's just kind of her. No, yes, she received an award, but I'm just saying kind of like her coming out, just saying like, she was able to reflecting. So it's just like, yes, like people, these are moments where we're supposed to be cherishing and kind of reflecting that this is what part is possibly going to be in Chris's. When you reflect, it's like, oh, when he got hit, when he was presenting, he got slapped by Will Smith. It's just a very disgusting and thing that someone has to like go through, and another kids have to witness and family members have to witness. No.
Yeah. Last Chris's tickets are selling out. So, at least that's one thing I'm happy about. And I know people like I'm just like I don't want to look at I think I am looking at Will different. And the thing about it, I was like a big fan of Will. I was like, oh, Will Smith. I don't idolize, like I don't do all that idolization. I don't idolize people, but I did like his movies. He is very talented and stuff, but I don't know. He's on my list. Yeah. I don't look at him the same anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna take nothing of his talent away from him. He's definitely got that talent-wise, yes. But whatever happened at the Oscars, it's just I'm still processing it. I agree with you, Chris. I'm still processing it. So I'm right with you. And at the end of the day, no one wins. Will didn't win in this. Chris didn't win in this. I mean, his ticket sales did go up, prices and stuff. I think he's selling out. Like, I think that no one won in this, in this case, right? Will is possibly going to going like some disciplinary actions behind him. People are looking at him different. Just people are looking at him differently. He possibly will be losing fans or not. So I don't know what other gigs he has going on. I mean, yeah, he's successful, but there's definitely going to be some consequences behind that. Just because his colleagues were cheering him on or like, kind of calming him down that night doesn't mean that they're not going to go back and say, oh, wow, did he actually do that? Like they may also, look at him differently as well. Right. So it's like, and then here's Chris, Chris is going to be known for being slapped at the Oscars. Mm-hmm. And this is going to be, when you Google his name, that's going to come up. So it's like, and he possibly also lost fans because people, what he said about Jada, they were, it was insensitive, speaking about someone's health condition. It wasn't, the best joke. So it's like at the end of the day, no one is winning in this. No one won. So at the end of the day, where do we go from here? Right? Where do we go from here? How do we handle this type of issue when it arises? Right? What do we get from putting our hands on another individual? What price do we pay? Like, with the slap, do you think that Chris is probably going to, like, let me just say this is my own thought. With his tickets selling out, Chris is gonna go make some content with this. He may not directly, like, make that in reference in terms of what happened, but he will maybe put it like in terms of like a skit or something. So he's gonna be making some type of, because people probably want to hear him talk about it, or possibly kind of hear his perspective, or kind of hear him again make some content out of this. So it's like, no one wins. What did the slap do for Chris? Like, it didn't shut him up, because I'm pretty sure maybe in the next few awards he may change up his skit, and he may actually again make a content out of this. So you can't, again, words should not be the reason why you put your hands on someone, because people are going to talk. People talk all the time. Look at Beyonce, right? Everyone talks about Beyonce till now. They talked about Blue Ivy. They talked about when she was pregnant. What does Beyonce do? Beyonce just keeps, making her music. You see, she just keeps doing things and minding her own business. I mean, look at her and Jay-Z. They're just, they're both successful. However, they're letting their work and their successful career play out for them. So words should not be the reason why you go and do something that could possibly potentially hurt your career or hurt you in the long run. So I'm just going to leave that at that. Sin, do you have anything last minute things to say?
No, I don't have anything. I don't have anything else to say. I think I've said, everything I had to say. Last, at the end of the day, like, this can only make Chris Rock stronger. So,
right. Yep. So we're just gonna leave it at that. I mean, I believe there's gonna be more details to come into this. So we're gonna keep, hopefully we're gonna have more lives when we can kind of dissect everything and have it, you guys call in and state your own perspective. But again, we always want to hear from you. So yeah, we're just gonna leave us at this tonight. It is kind of getting late, so but we do appreciate you all who did stopped and kind of listen all through. And as you leave, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. We really appreciate you guys. And until next time, peace, love, and blessings. Good night.
Right.